I invite you to take the time now to be the peace you desire to see in the world. Take the time now to release yourself from all sense of fear or limitation. Realize in calm confidence, in perfect trust and faith, that there is complete peace. Just allow yourself to feel it and to be it. And join with me as I speak in the present tense and positive. I rest in the understanding that peace is a whole, perfect, and complete idea in the mind of God. God is all there is. And as I become aware of my oneness, I recognize that God is all of me, and yet it is so much more. So today I tap into and lean into the concept of peace at my core. And since I acknowledge that Spirit is the one and only source, it must be whole, perfect, and complete in me, because I am one with Spirit. So I sit for a few moments in stillness, recognizing the peace at my core. Grateful for the demonstration of peace in my life. Grateful that I am making a difference. Grateful that I am making the world a better place to live, play, and love. I let these feelings and these thoughts move beyond me and into the world, knowing peace is manifesting now. And so it is. Welcome to this meditation of 3 deep breaths. Begin by taking a deep breath and hold it for a few seconds. Exhale and relax. Take another deep breath, as deep as you can, and hold it. Count for 5 seconds. And as you exhale, just imagine blowing out all of your stress. Take a third deep breath and hold it. And as you exhale, you blow out any stress you've been holding on to, saying to yourself, "Relax now." This is your new solution to stress. Whenever you become stressed in the future, you simply take 3 fully in and deep breaths, holding it at the top for 5 seconds, and when you exhale, blow out any stresses that you feel. On the 3rd breath, as you exhale, you simply say to yourself, "Relax now." Begin by slowly blinking your eyes. And with each number I say, blink once. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. And 0. Allow your eyes to gently close, and when you do this, you feel a wave of relaxation sweep over you. Now I invite you to focus on the sensations at the top of your head. Just notice how the very top of your head feels. And now let your focus move down to your eyes. Just notice how your eyes feel. Ask them to relax even more. The little movement in your eyes is called rapid eye movement and is completely normal. These small eye movements allow for you to feel calm. Notice how the back of your head feels, if it's touching a surface. How heavy does your head feel right now? Let your focus move to your nose and feel the slight sensation of the air moving in and out with your breath. When you breathe in, imagine that you are being filled with calmness. And when you breathe out, imagine your body feels heavy and deeply relaxed. Very good. Now focus on your ears. Notice how they feel and what they hear around you. Try to hear every single noise. When sounds come into your ears, they act like little waves of relaxation, taking you even deeper. Notice the sound of my voice and how soothing and comforting it is. From here forward, you can only hear my voice guiding you. All other sounds passing only take you deeper into a state of deep relaxation. Now focus on your mouth. How does it feel? And what do you notice? Can you sense a flavor? Something you recently tasted? Perhaps you can imagine biting into a fresh slice of lemon, and you notice how your mouth waters. Very good. And move your focus down now to your neck. And if there is any tension, just ask it to release a little more. Notice how your neck feels right now. And just feel all the sensations in your neck. Now focus on your shoulders. And move your attention slowly down each arm, down, down, all the way to each fingertip. What are your fingertips touching right now? Feel the sensations on your fingertips. Nice. Allow your focus to go to your chest, relaxing this area, as well as your upper back. And if you notice any tension, just ask it nicely to release just a little. Now imagine you are focusing on your heart and feeling it beating strongly, supporting you. Relax your heart and notice how good it feels to do so. And now focus on your lungs. Feel them gently expanding and contracting with your breath, delivering oxygen to your body. Allow your focus to move down your vital organs and digestive system. Just notice your belly and how it feels. Just observe it working and digesting effortlessly for you. Now notice your lower back and how it is pressing against the surface you are on. And if you feel any tension, just say, "Please relax just a little more." Focus now on your pelvis and hips and notice any sensations you are having there. This takes you even deeper into a state of relaxation, allowing your focus to move down each leg now, slowly relaxing those as well. Your legs have been taking you so many places, and they deserve to fully relax. Notice this wonderful wave of relaxation moving down to your knees and down your lower legs, all the way to your feet and the very tip of each toe. Good. You are doing so well. Now that you have relaxed your body so well, I'm going to count down from 10, and with each descending number, your conscious mind will relax even more, letting go of any beliefs that hold you back from your goal, from your highest good. Imagine that you are standing at the top of a set of stairs, and when I begin counting, you will walk down the stairs. Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Good. It's natural that your conscious mind gives less and less importance to the words that I'm saying, allowing your subconscious mind to be present right now. From now on, choose to be relaxed. You choose to be calm. You choose to be in control of all you do because your health is very important to you. Remember that it is natural for you to be healthy and happy. It is unnatural for you to have sickness and discomfort. Now hear yourself saying, each day, in every way, I am getting better and better. In order to make change, I challenge myself. Change is not comfortable. In fact, it is inconvenient. So if I feel comfortable with the change I am making, I'm probably not extending myself enough. When I have a negative thought, I acknowledge that I feel this way, and then I release it. When another negative thought arises, I catch it quickly, and I say with confidence, I acknowledge that part of me feels this way, but this thought does not help me right now. Each day, in every way, I am getting better and better. Whenever I am presented with feelings of stress, I know my breath is there to soothe me and guide me into relaxation. Every day, I become more aware of all of the good going on around me and in my life. When I feel negative and a sense of darkness surrounding me, I know that it is as simple as taking 3 deep breaths to begin to see the light, to begin to feel the positive. For these 3 deep breaths relax my mind and body. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. I choose to make great changes by challenging my thoughts. From now on, I notice and challenge every single negative and unproductive thought that arises. From this point forward, whenever you feel yourself in that darkness and having negative, unproductive thoughts, you will immediately say to yourself, "Stop." Let me repeat that to you so that it is perfectly clear. Whenever you find yourself having negative, unproductive thoughts and going to that dark place, you will immediately say to yourself, "Stop." And as soon as you say stop, you will notice that the negative thoughts magically disappear. This gives you the opportunity to start a new positive thought process. How do you feel? Notice how you feel right now. Notice exactly how you feel right now. Good. Now I'm going to count from 1 to 10. And at the count of 10, you will be awake and refreshed and ready for your day. 1. Slowly coming back to the present moment. 2. 3. 4. Feeling refreshed with a new energy coming in as you breathe. 5. 6. 7. Bringing with you all that you have learned today. 8. 9. Almost there. And 10. Welcome back. Good. Know that you are doing very powerful work by practicing this meditation. Do it as often as you can without skipping a day if you can, for at least 21 days. This is the way to change your life for the better. Thank you and have a great day. You ought to be very proud of yourself. Welcome to Unity Online. I'm Reverend Anne Ahokangas, and I'm so delighted to be with you here today. Why don't we start with a song to get us going? So this first song is What Would Love Do Now by Eddie Watkins Jr. And we're using this song as our theme song because it really is a great theme, isn't it? What would love do now? Take it away, Emilio.
just before you say something you can't take away. Take a breath and let it out. Try to think about what would love do now. Wondering if I should cross that line for good. Whatever you decide, ask yourself from inside, what would love do now? Everything is either an act of love or a cry for love. That's why for love we try for love. In the end, that's all we know. That's real. Whether right or wrong doesn't matter, just as long as you let your heart decide. Ask yourself from inside, what would love do now? Everything is either an act of love or a cry for love. That's why for love we try for love. In the end, that's all we know. That's real. Whether right or wrong doesn't matter, just as long as you let your heart decide. Ask yourself from inside, what would love do now? What would love do now? What would love do now? What would love do now?
Oh, wasn't that fantastic? I just love Emilio's voice, and that song by Eddie Watkins Jr. is fabulous. Now here's another one by Eddie Watkins Jr. called Fear to Faith. Go for it, Emilio.
We move from fear to faith when we gather together to pray for the healing of this world and the dawning of a brighter day. We move from fear to faith. Sing it with me. We move from fear to faith when we gather together to pray for the healing of this world and the dawning of a brighter day. We move from fear. Yeah, we move. 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 From fear to faith.
Join with me in this opening intention. And if the words I speak resonate with you, allow them to be the words of your own heart. Close your eyes if that's comfortable, and take a deep breath in. And just let it out with a sigh. and bring your attention from your mind and all your whirling thoughts to the center of your being, to your heart center. And as I rest and relax in this beautiful, calm, loving place, where I know at the core of my being, Spirit resides, I feel blessed. I rest in the knowing that all is good and all is well. And it's from this place that I remember I am the author of my life. And I know that my deep-held feelings, thoughts, and even actions of today create my tomorrow. And so today I am aware and deliberate in my thoughts and my actions. I take another deep breath in and let it out with a sigh. Feeling gratitude in every cell of my being. I know that long before I ask, Spirit has already answered. For I know that Spirit is within. It is my very being. And so as I allow gratitude to lead the way today, I let go and I let it be so. Please join with me in affirming, and so it is. And one breath at a time, Karen Drucker.
One breath at a time. One breath at a time. That's where grace comes in. One breath at a time. Sing it with me. One breath at a time. That's it. One breath at a time. That's where grace comes in. One breath at a time. One breath at a time. One breath at a time. That's where grace comes in. One breath at a time. One step at a time. One step at a time. That's where peace comes in. One step at a time. One more time, sing it with me. One step at a time. One step at a time. That's where peace comes in. One step at a time. One breath at a time. Breath at a time. One breath at a time. That's where grace comes in. One breath at a time. one breath at a time, one breath at a time. That's where grace comes in. One breath, one breath, one breath at a time. Take one breath, one step, one breath, one step, one breath, one step. Just breathe, breath, one step, one breath, one step. Just breathe, breathe, step, one breath, one step. Just breathe, breathe, step, breathe, one step. Just breathe, one step. Just breathe.
I always like to focus on a word every week. And today's absolute word is meaning. I am divine, creating a life of meaning and purpose. Humankind continually questions the meaning of life. Joseph Campbell summed it up when he said, "The meaning of life is whatever you ascribe it to be. Being alive is the meaning." Today I am grateful to be alive, to be on my life's journey. I open my physical eyes to the beauty around me. The trees, the sun, the flowers, the people I meet. When I open my spiritual eyes, I see life from a higher perspective. I know my divinity and can wisely direct my path to manifest more and more good that is unique to me. I do not waste time worrying about what to do. I simply embrace the day and all the creative possibilities in the moment. I divinely, consciously, and intentionally create a life full of meaning and purpose, one decision at a time. A life full of good, blessings, and win-win outcomes. And so it is. This year, our theme is Look Up. And what I like to remind you of is to rise above whatever is going on and to be open to what Spirit has in store for you. And when we look up, the answers to everything that could possibly be come within our awareness. So won't you join me? And of course, this month of March, we are open to possibilities. Today I'd like to talk about commit to transformation. And I guess the reason that it came up was in a couple of the classes that I am taking right now through Worldwide Unity is bringing up some interesting ideas for me to think about, and I thought I would share it. And one of the things that one of the instructors told us was that he felt that the one area where a lot of Unity people do not seem to focus is on principle number 5. So if you don't know what principle number 5 is, I'll go through all of them and then I'll describe what principle number 5 is. So the first principle, and I really believe this to be true, that there is only one power, one presence, one absolute good, and I choose to call it God. Sometimes I call it Spirit. Sometimes I call it divine absolute. Sometimes I call it resource or source. But there is only one, and it is good. And the second principle is that I am one with it. And so therefore, ultimately, I am good, which means that therefore you are good. The third principle is that there is this law of mind action. And that law of mind action means that your word has power. And so whether your word is your beliefs or the actions that you do based on your beliefs, that they have power. And what you think about, what you believe, what you deeply, deeply believe, even in your subconscious, is what becomes your reality because of this law of mind action. The principle number 4 is basically that prayer and meditation are two ways that we can connect with the inner wisdom, with our higher self. And someone once said that prayer is talking to God and meditation is listening to the answer. And I would like to say that I really have a blurry line between prayer and meditation because I do both. I speak to the higher self and ask questions and receive answers, but I also dwell in that really beautiful place of love and just settle and relax there. It's sort of my sanctuary. So that is principle number 4. And principle number 5 is that the answers that I receive, the promptings that I get, the desires that I have, that I then take action, whatever that action might be. And it's not to just wait for something to happen, but to actually do something. And so today I'd like to focus on committing to transformation. Now, maybe you're one of those few whose life is just perfect exactly the way that it is. And this idea of transformation just seems like a waste of time. But that's not the case for me, and probably for some of you that are listening as well. And so I'd like to explore this idea of committing to transformation, because that is ultimately what the spiritual journey is all about. And it's not transforming from the perfection that you already are. It's actually more revealing the perfection, the wholeness that you are, the divinity that you are. So I'd like to look at transition. I'd like to look at awareness. And I'd like to also touch on you are a healer. So transition, what is that? When spiritual transformation comes knocking on your door, it boldly asks you to let go of parts of yourself and your life that no longer serve. So what are the signs indicating that transformation is happening? Sometimes new opportunities are right there to greet you. But more often than not, there is something called a space between stories. And in some traditions, that's called the void. The place where it seems as though it's going to take forever for anything to happen, and it seems to be a long time since the last thing happened or since you let it go, and there's no idea as to when or how or what is about to happen. Charles Epstein says, the old world falls apart, but the new one has not yet emerged. Without the mirage of order that once seemed to protect you and filter reality, you feel naked and vulnerable. Also, it's a kind of freedom. And I guess I'd like to unpack that a bit. He uses the word mirage of order, that somehow we have been under the illusion that things are really orderly and that we have control in life. Ha, ha, ha. But that's really not the truth. And the thing is that when we have committed to, either subtly or bravely, to some form of transformation, that this transition is happening and that there's a real sense of freedom in releasing the old and being ready for the new. But at the same time, there's an awkwardness, there's a nakedness waiting for this new to evolve. So what does it take? Well, awareness, becoming aware that that's in fact what's happening and that it's normal and that it's okay. So awareness can help you feel less alone while you're facing a transition. So if you're facing some sort of transition right now, either in a job, in a relationship, in your own spiritual awareness, know that you're not alone, and that just the awareness that that's in fact the process that you're going through does give you a sense of power in the middle of it. So the good and the bad news. Monumental transformations don't happen all that often, thank goodness. And they can be difficult to identify when they're subtle, when they're not monumental. The signs indicating that transformation is happening are, and I'll list a few of them, but remember that if your job isn't fulfilling, but you don't know what else you would do, or perhaps your relationship isn't satisfying, but you're afraid to leave the security of what's been developed, or you feel bored or unenthusiastic but you can't figure out how to get out of the rut. That's sort of the step number one, that something feels stuck. Something just doesn't feel right. Life just doesn't feel fulfilled or satisfactory. So I invite you to slow down. Take the time to be alone when you're feeling stuck. These are the greatest gifts for recognizing stuckness and uncovering our own truth, and that is being alone and slowing down. I know that I have a tendency to start to feel squirrely when I'm feeling stuck. And I actually get busy. And it's in that busyness that I think somehow I'm going to feel better. But actually, the opposite is true. That I need to remind myself to slow down and take time to just allow things to unfold. Allow myself to just be. Number 2, conflict arises in many areas of your life. So if you're noticing conflict, even in your own ideas about things, that could be an indication that you're in transition, you are transforming. Sure, these could simply be the regular stuff of life, but you can choose to observe them through a more expansive lens of symbolism or spirituality. If you're noticing more conflict in different areas of your life, how about looking deeper? So if there's conflict where there wasn't before, what is it that perhaps has been set in motion for you to pay attention to? Become the observer. Be open to exploring conflict in all relationships as a portal or a door to your highest self, because it is a message for you. Because life is really intended to constantly communicate with you. That is why we say spirit is within you. The spirit of life is within you. And it is constantly knocking at your door, asking for you to open it, to find out what's there. So note what's happening. Pay attention to how it makes you feel. 3, you have a difficult time concentrating or getting work done. Like, do you just feel really scattered? Because it's in that scattered, in that difficulty concentrating, that it could be that you're in transition, and that's normal. It's normal to have a difficult time concentrating. And that's why just slowing down, taking some time alone, maybe meditating, going for a walk, something bigger is happening. And although you may not be cognitively aware of what's going on, your body knows what's up. And so don't sweat it. Just say, something's going on. You're barely sleeping or you're sleeping all the time. I know when I'm processing stuff that my sleep certainly changes. I either need to sleep more, or sometimes in my excitement I don't need to sleep very much at all. And I know that's an indication that I am in process. The trick to getting through it is to simply listen and respect your body. If you need more sleep, sleep. If you don't need the sleep, then get up and perhaps do something. And it might be as simple as getting up, having a glass of water, and going back to bed. And then it's easy to fall asleep again. 5, raw emotion starts to spill out of you. And you might say to yourself, if you're in that state, what the heck was that? What triggered that? That little comment or that little thing had me go off the rails? That may be an indication that there is something more happening, that you are in the midst of change, in the midst of transition, and that too is normal. Don't try to push these emotions away. Don't try to squish them down or squelch them. Allow the feelings to move through you, because they are just telling you that something is going on, and allow them to just pass. Emotions, if you split the word, is emotions, energy in motion. So allow your emotions to just flow. Being vulnerable is actually very powerful. So embrace the wild, raw emotions that live inside of you. Let me say that again. Being vulnerable is powerful. I know that you may have thought being vulnerable is actually revealing weakness, but it isn't. And embracing your wild, raw emotions that live inside of you is also a good thing. Not always, but is a good thing, because if they're there, they're intended to be felt, to be experienced, to be acknowledged. There is a strength in raw emotions because it indicates a person who has a soft and open heart. So if you're feeling some real raw emotions, it's because you are open and sensitive. 6, you get signs from the universe. I don't know about you, but when there is a transition about to happen, I certainly get signs from the universe. Transformation can't be analyzed. It's natural and it's spiritual. And for me, I talked about symbols. I've got a picture of a raven here, or they call it a murder of ravens, I think is when there's many of them. Whenever something major is about to happen in my life, so that would be a transformation or transition in some sort, I see ravens everywhere. They come and they sit on my balcony, on the railing. They squawk at me from the top of poles when I'm outside. I see flocks of them flying around. I see them on the side of the road. And I often say to myself now, because I've come to recognize that they do show up for me when there's a transition happening, that I wonder what good is coming. Because it has never been bad. It's always been good. It's often been a huge change, but it's never been bad. So I invite you to think about, what kind of symbols does the universe give you when there is a transformation or transition coming? Because you'll be surprised. There is something. You just may not have paid attention. So an opportunity might come out of the blue. You receive an increase in synchronicities. You're presented with an experience that has a lot of growth potential for you. You get guidance that the experience will be healing. It feels right to your intuition. Every one of those are messages from the universe. Pay attention, because you may be getting the answers or the exact support you need in this moment through those messages. And 7, you feel a sense of calm and inner peace. And so perhaps there is a lot going on, and this transition is happening, but for some reason you have this ability in this moment to just feel calm and relaxed and really, really peaceful. At the peak of large transformation, everything insignificant really falls away, and what you're left with is really only your priorities. And there's something really powerful and something really calming about not having all that extra stuff to do. So I invite you to think about if you are in transition, and most of us are at any time, any given time, a little bit or a lot. Are you getting the signs in the different ways? Because it's really wonderful to know ahead of time when something is occurring. We can be more deliberate creators that way. Transition and transformation are like shedding an old skin, and you become clear and calm and peaceful. And you are certain that things will work out exactly as they are meant to. And I can say that from my own experience. But I want you to also hear those words. You are certain that things will work out exactly as they are meant to. Now, there's a lot built into exactly as they are meant to. It sounds almost like fate, but it's not. You see, you and I are the authors of our life. And so everything that is a desire, is a deep-held belief, is something that we wish to experience, is being acted upon by the law of mind action. And so nothing is a coincidence. Nothing is by chance. Everything is exactly as it should be based on what's going on inside of you and inside of me. Because according to principle or life, God, source, resource, they always do work out. That's the part of principle number 1 about God being good, the universe being good. Because it's our good unfolding all of the time, attempting to sometimes force us to release what's not working, and sometimes just allowing us to shed that old skin, that old way of being, that old way of thinking, to allow for the new to come in, so that as a consequence you can be happier, you can feel calmer, you can feel more exuberant, depending on what it is that you are looking for. So here's a nice affirmation. I'd like you to read it with me. I know that as life continues to gently guide me on my path, I have the courage to embrace that which I am called to change, and the patience to sit in stillness as I wait to find out what is on the other side to meet me. Now you notice I accented gently. I have learned that I like to put the word gently in because the universe can show up like the cosmic 2x4 or like the hurricane. And I prefer it to be easy and gentle. So I like to say, I know that as life continues to gently guide me on my path, that gentle is the way it shows up. Now I'd like to touch on something, and maybe this will cause a transformation for you, but you are a healer. And you might think automatically, well, I don't heal anybody. I don't know how to heal. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a spiritual healer. I'm not any of those things. The thing is that what you're here to do in your human incarnation is to heal the belief that somehow you have been separated from your higher self, from the love with a big L, from the universe. And yet you have not. That is only a belief system, and you are here to heal that erroneous belief, that belief that says you're not worthy, that belief that says you're not good enough, that belief that says you don't deserve all the best that life has to offer. You are here to heal that belief. Do you remember the story from Mark 5:29? And maybe if you're not a Bible scholar, you don't remember this story, but maybe if I tell it to you, you might remember. This is the exact quote from the Bible. For she said, if I touch but his garments, I shall be made whole. And straightway the fountain of her blood was dried up, and she felt in her body that she was healed of her plague. And straightway Jesus, perceiving in himself that the power proceeding from him had gone forth, turned him about in the crowd and said, "Who touched my garment?" And as the story goes, there was a woman when Jesus was traveling around the country who had heard that he could heal all kinds of things. And she had been bleeding for something like 12 years, her menstrual cycles. And back in those days, you were considered unclean and dirty. And not only would men not approach you if you were single or married, but you also were not approached by anybody else. You were thought to have the plague. And so this woman lived in tremendous isolation, and she heard that Jesus was coming. Now, the metaphysics of that is that you can reach out in the core of your being to the resource within. And as soon as you do, like that woman reaching out to touch his garment, that it is there to answer you and to bring you what you require to find the personal healing or the answers that you're looking for. And in the second part of this reading from Mark, it says that Jesus perceived that his garment had been touched and that some of his power was going out to someone, and he looked to see who it was. And what that is in a metaphysical interpretation is that Spirit always says yes, and that it knows when you ask. It knows before you ask. And so I invite you to consider that not only are you a healer of yourself, but as you recognize and walk in the power of Spirit, which is within you, and you walk as the author of your life, that you as a consequence give everyone else permission to also do the same. And if they don't know how, they can ask you, how is it that you're able to live such a fabulous life? And then you're able to pass that on. And so when you do that, when you live in the truth of your being, when you live in knowing that you are worthy and you are loved and you have the answers of the universe of Spirit within you, that you then become an example for everyone else to follow. And they may not even know what they're seeing, but on some level they recognize that they too can do this. I remember I was once told when I was first studying spirituality specifically, was that if any human being can do something that you would like to achieve, then you can too, because you have it within you. So I invite you to consider that you are a healer, and if anyone can heal, so can you. And that you are obliged, as part of this spiritual journey, to shine your light as brightly as you can. You don't have to be hitting people over the head and saying, hey, you have to think about the Spirit within and stop thinking negative and, all of those kind of things. But just be the truth that you know. Live the truth that you know. And you will shine the light, and others will know too. So this is a quote from Emma Curtis Hopkins from Mental Practice. There is an elixir in the words of truth. Keep them going continually. They will change your entire life and change your powers. You are a miracle worker by inherent right. Give your soul the chance to do all your thinking, all your speaking. And there's a couple of key points in there. That when you speak words of truth, like you are worthy, and that you are fully divine, as well as fully human, and other words like that you do change your entire life, and that you activate the power within, and your life becomes that much better. And in this phrase, give your soul the chance to do all your thinking, all your speaking, is saying speak from that truth, from the soul part of you. And when you do, your life does transform, and always, always for the better. So are you in transition? Maybe. I would say most of us always are, because life is constantly a change and constantly changing. Do you have an awareness? Have you perhaps thought of some of the things that I talked about today and are noticing that yes, change is a happening? And are you ready to say, it's all good and it's all unfolding good? Because it is. Because something within you, the spirit within you, is providing you all the answers, all the support that you need as you move forward. Life is good all the time. And it's only in our judgment of it that it seems like it isn't. But there is something good happening in the midst of every crisis, every challenge. And remember, you are a healer. And as you heal yourself first from the erroneous ideas that you're not worthy, that you're not good enough, that you give other people the permission and the comfort to be who they are, to let go of all those old fears, and to just truly sit in that truth. I love you and I bless you, and it is such an absolute thrill to be able to share these ideas with you every week. I hope that you received a nugget from it. So let's anchor this with a song. God in Whom We Dwell by Dedry Francois, and of course, Emilio Zaras.
Present you, loving God in whom we dwell. Grateful are we for the love we feel. In every truth we are healed. Loving God in whom we dwell, feed our minds, nourish our souls, mold us in your own way. Loving God in whom we dwell, source of true love, genuine joy. Teach us to love without conditions. in whom we dwell, expressing through us. All things are possible, glory and honor, deliverance and power, loving each moment with you. Glory and honor, deliverance and power, living each moment with you. Living each moment with you. Loving each moment with you.
I always like to include a prosperity affirmation because prosperity to me is abundance in every way in life. So join with me if that's comfortable in reading this affirmation. From the love of pure spirit in me, I bless all that I give. It goes forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith in the good in my life. It does great work in the world, and it returns to me multiplied abundantly. I am prosperous. And now a really great song, Expect the Best, with Richard Medici and Harold Payne as the writers, and Emilio Zaras singing it away.
I open my eyes, greet the new day, take a deep breath, kneel down to pray. Then I give thanks, look in the mirror, and a friend looks back at me. A smile lights up my face, and I know that I am blessed. So I expect the best. I expect the best. I know that I'm loved right where I stand. I know I'm enough just as I am. All that I want, all I desire is waiting here for me. The universe conspires to ensure my happiness. So I expect the best. I expect the best. I'm loving my life, living my dreams, losing my fears, I'm spreading my wings, feeling alive, anticipating what the future holds for me. And I can't wait to see what's gonna happen next, 'cause I expect the best. Yeah, I expect the best. I expect the best. I expect the best. Sing it with me. What do you expect? I expect the best.
This is the time that I like to really focus on the truth of my being. So join with me in consciousness for this closing prayer. Say it with me if that's comfortable. The infinite mind of God, which is my mind, fills my awareness with all I need to live a full and happy life. I follow the guidance. I am peaceful. I release all fear. I am living love. And so it is. And know that if you have prayer requests, you can send us prayer requests through our website. There is also a link on our website under prayer for Silent Unity, and you can receive prayer 24/7. So let's end with Stand Together by Faith Rivera, Harold Payne, and Emilio Zaras.
Something great has happened and love has taken hold and it won't let go of us now. Something here is calling us forward, upward motion. We're dropped in one ocean. Roll on. Will you rise up with me today? Lift up your voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Every day's a chance you can do something amazing, to feel your passion blazing and shine. Paint with every vision and dance in new directions, explode to new heights in your mind. I will rise up with you today, lift up my voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. The dream of your highest calling, be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. One dream, one voice, one heart. the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for the change that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together. It's a dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together. Live the dream. Be the hope of this new day. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts. Everybody stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Now.
Thanks so much for joining me again this week, and I look forward to talking to you again next week. I hope that you got some nuggets, and please stay on the line for information on how you might send us a donation if you feel so moved. Bye for now, and see you next week.